Here's a Collabathon submission for taking climate action to earn carbon credits. Here's the Gitbook. I'll just walk you through it. We've got a link to a GitHub repository, and then here's our summary. The problem is people need a direct way to both know how to take direct climate action and to connect with larger projects. We want to know how we can have compounding climate investments. So here's taking climate action, earning carbon credits. This is a project on CoMakery that's backed by a carbon credit token. These are some tasks that people can do. Let's just go and look at the batches and tasks section. You can see each task that people can do to earn carbon credits has some details that are associated with it. And you can see the details. And then we have two different ones that people can work on: eat a carbon reducing vegan meal and install an LED light that replaces a filament light. We're also looking for new suggestions for good tasks people can do to reduce their carbon footprint. And so that's the task part of the project. And then further down, we have, let's go look over here. This is the actual deployed smart contract. This is an Ethereum ERC20 token that's backed by a carbon credit. So let's look at the Etherscan dApp for this security token. We're going to grab the first carbon certificate that's been notarized, grab the ID of the certificate, and we're going to look up to see what the value is. The value here, when we query it, is this long number. It's actually a 1 with 18 zeros, so it represents 1 carbon credit. So we can go look and see the actual certificate, which is stored in IPFS, which is a distributed file storage system. There's a certificate. It shows I paid $12 for this, this 1 carbon credit, and that's what we're using there. It has the same identifier as what's stored in the smart contract, and we can see that it's associated with that value. Let's see. So there's a section here that shows us how the token works. And this describes pretty close to what we just said, but with a nice sequence diagram for engineering. And then the resources are available. There's an open source licensed smart contract. And then the interesting bit is in the contracts folder in carboncredit.sol. And this has a few interesting functions in it. One is to deposit carbon credit from certificate. The other is retire, which you can use to retire the carbon credit after it's been circulated. When you deposit a carbon certificate, it actually mints new tokens, and then they can be retired later. There's also the mapping of carbon certificates and a list of all the carbon certificates that are there for the programmery people to look at. And then finally, what are the next steps? We want to gather additional carbon offset tasks that people can perform. For example, design the best carbon offset meal that consists of low resources use and the planting of maximum carbon sequestering plants. We want to identify projects such as carbon sequestering farms that need people to plant trees. We want to connect with other projects for carbon offset crowdfunding, like solar projects. We want to look for people who want to pilot and partner to get this off the ground. And that's what we got. Get in touch if you're interested. Noah@comakery.com.